Picture this. You're in a packed stadium. The energy is electric. Engines are roaring. But here's the twist. The drivers, well, they aren't human. This isn't some futuristic fantasy. It's the world of motorsports today. AI is taking the wheel, and today's deep dive is all about how this incredible technology is changing the game, both on and off the racetrack. And to help us break it all down, we've got an expert joining us, someone who can explain not just the how, but the why. Welcome to the Fast Lane.
It's really something to see a field like motorsports, which has always been about pushing limits, become this proving ground for AI tech that, let's be honest, will probably touch all of our lives eventually.
It's like watching science fiction come to life. We've got leagues popping up with AI drivers going head-to-head, like Roborace has been around for a while, but there's a newcomer making waves, the Abu Dhabi Autonomous Racing League, or A2RL. They just had their first race at the famous Yas Marina Thicket. And get this, an AI driver pulled off a last-lap overtake to take home the win.
And it's about to get even more interesting. A2RL is organizing this man versus machine event at Japan's Suzuka circuit. They're pitting an AI driver against former Formula One driver Daniel Kvyat. Talk about a clash of the titans, right?
Hi.
But these events, they aren't just for show. They're speeding up the development of self-driving technology way faster than could ever happen on normal roads. It's like a high-speed laboratory for AI.
So we're not talking about some remote-controlled cars here. It's more like giving a car its own, I don't know, strategic mind.
You got it. Imagine a car that has a brain, and it can process information crazy fast. These AI systems, they use sensors, kind of like the car's eyes and ears, constantly feeding information into these powerful algorithms. And I know algorithms sound complicated, but think of them like a set of rules or even a recipe for decision-making. So based on what the sensors are telling it, the algorithms decide when to brake, when to hit the gas, even the perfect time to pass another car, all in real time, with no human input needed.
Wow, so it's not even just about staying on the track. It's making these, like, strategic choices almost like a human driver would.
Exactly. We're talking about huge amounts of data being processed every second.
Yeah.
And the system is making judgments that would be tough, even for experienced drivers. And this tech, it's not limited to these AI-only races either. Even the big names, Formula One, Japan Super Formula, they're using AI in their strategies.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because even with human drivers, those races are as much about strategy as they are about raw speed.
You got it. AI is changing how racing teams approach the whole game. They use it to look at all this data during a race, tire wear, fuel, what their competitors are doing. It's all about getting that tiny edge, that strategic advantage.
So it's like having like a supercomputer in your pit box,
Right.
crunching numbers and whispering the best moves in your ear. Can you give us an example of how AI is actually changing those decisions during a race?
Let's take pit stops, for instance. Now, to us watching, it seems pretty basic, right? You just change the tires. But in motorsports, timing is everything. AI looks at all those data points we talked about, how the tires are wearing down, how much fuel is left, even the competitor's driving style and the track conditions. And it figures out the absolute best time for a pit stop, sometimes down to the millisecond. We're talking about the difference between winning and losing here. A pit stop, timed perfectly by AI, can completely flip the script of a race.
So what looks like a quick tire change to us at home is actually this intense like AI chess game happening behind the scenes. It really makes you think about all the hidden factors in a race. But what's really mind-blowing is that this tech, it's not staying on the track, you know? It's already showing up in the cars we drive every day.
Absolutely. That line between what we see in motorsports and what we have in our garages, it's getting blurry fast. What starts as an experiment on the racetrack quickly turns into like a standard feature in our cars, and AI is leading the charge.
So it's almost like this like high-speed pipeline from the track to our driveways.
Exactly. Think about some of those safety features you probably have in your car right now. Adaptive cruise control, lane assist, even automatic braking. These aren't just bells and whistles anymore. They're powered by AI systems that came straight from preventing crashes in racing.
So you're saying the same AI that's helping a race car driver take a turn at 200 miles per hour is being used to keep me safe on my way to work.
That's right. And it's making a difference. These AI safety features, they're there to help us be more aware. Not to completely replace us as drivers, at least not yet, but they're already preventing accidents, making the road safer for all of us.
It's pretty amazing how what seemed so futuristic a few years ago is just becoming normal. Are there any other examples of this, like racing tech jumping to everyday cars?
You know, we talked about those predictive maintenance systems they use in racing, the ones that spot problems before they even happen. Well, they're starting to use that same idea in consumer cars, though it's still early days.
You mean like a system that looks at data from the engine, the tires, maybe even how I drive. And it can tell when my car might need some work.
Exactly. Some cars now, they have AI. They can look at all that sensor data, kind of like in racing, and it can actually predict when something might need attention.
So instead of getting caught off guard by that dreaded check engine light, my car is basically giving me a heads up like, hey, you might want to get this checked out soon. That would save a lot of stress.
For sure. And that's really just the start. Imagine your car constantly checking its own health, predicting issues before they even become problems. No more surprise breakdowns, expensive repairs. It could even make driving safer for everyone.
It's amazing to think that one day our cars could practically take themselves in for a checkup. But let's talk about the future for a sec. Where do we go from here? What's next for AI in driving?
Well, we've covered AI helping us drive, making cars safer and more efficient, right? But there's this whole other area I think has huge potential. Personalized AI driver coaching. What if we could all have those high-tech simulators that tro racers use?
You mean like having my own personal racing sim at home? That'd be pretty cool, but those things are crazy expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, right now they are. But as AI gets even smarter and cheaper, those simulators could become like a normal thing to have. Imagine a system that learns how you drive, figures out what you need to work on, and then gives you personalized feedback and training, all in this safe, virtual world.
So it'd be like having like an AI driving instructor who knows exactly what I need to practice.
Exactly. It could make anyone a better, safer driver. And not just the basics. It could help you learn how to spot hazards faster, how to brake better in different conditions, even how to react in like a scary situation on the road.
Wow, that's wild. From stopping accidents to actually teaching us how to drive better. Sounds like AI is becoming like the ultimate co-pilot. What other cool stuff do you see coming down the line?
Remember how we were talking about those predictive maintenance systems? The ones that tell you when your car needs a tune-up. Well, imagine taking that even further. What if your phone, using AI, became like your own car care assistant? You could check your car's data, see how you drive, even factor in things like the weather, or even traffic, and then give you personalized advice.
So instead of just a generic message to get an oil change, I'd get something specific like, hey, with all the driving you've been doing and this heat wave coming up, you should probably get your coolant levels checked.
Exactly. It's like moving from just reacting to problems to actually preventing them, all thanks to AI. It's like having a mechanic in your pocket keeping an eye on things.
That's some serious next level stuff. But we've been focusing on AI helping human drivers. What about AI actually doing the driving? Those man versus machine races are super cool, but will AI drivers ever completely take over?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And people have a lot of different thoughts on it. Some experts think that, yeah, AI drivers are the future. They can process information so much faster than us, react quicker, which could mean safer, more efficient roads. But then others say there's something about humans being behind the wheel.
Yeah.
That intuition, the ability to adapt, even just the pure fun of driving, that AI can't replace.
It's like that whole will robots take over the world
Yeah,
debate. Pretty fascinating stuff. We should definitely do a whole deep dive on that someday.
definitely.
But for now, it's something to think about as all this tech keeps getting better. So next time you see a commercial for a car with some fancy new driver assist feature, remember, it's not magic, it's AI. And it probably started out in the world of motorsports. All those high-speed races, all that innovation, it's shaping how we'll all be driving in the future.
And that future is coming fast.
It really feels that way. As always, we like to leave you with something to ponder. If AI can handle a racetrack with those crazy speeds and split-second decisions, what other parts of our lives could it completely change? Something to think about as we explore this exciting new world of technology. And on that note, it's time for us to hit the brakes on this deep dive. Until next time, keep those engines revving and your curiosity fueled.